Hello and welcome back to another Stonksy video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the oscillator. Following the updates, we're going to be taking a look at the final and published product that has gone live for users. Take a look at the updates and obviously cover any changes that have happened since publication and the video that I done covering it, which was just slightly before pre-release. You can find that on the YouTube channel. It is currently the latest posted video. You can find it there, Oscillator update. This covers basically the broader update, exactly what each feature means, how to use it. But what we'll be taking a look in this video is just the minor changes that occurred following the actual release and what it means obviously for looking at the oscillator. But please do make sure you drop a big like on the video, make sure you subscribe, and of course make sure you sign up to BLOFIN non-KYC exchange in the description. And if you want to get Stonksy, you can get the oscillator as a standalone product. It's just £44 a month for the oscillator and Discord access, or you can still get 20% off your first month of the entire product when you sign up on the monthly plan and use code BOT20. But let's jump into the video. So this on screen right now is the released oscillator update. Now there has been a few changes since that video, like I mentioned, very minor ones. The first one is being the arrow. So as you can see here, we've got a red arrow coming in here. If we zoom out, you've got green arrow, red arrow, either side. Now these are just in replacement of the dots. So in this video, I covered about the dots on either side of the oscillator, up and down. The arrow is just in replacement of that to make it more visible, obviously make it more clear on the oscillator when that's coming in and exactly what they are. So if you haven't watched that video, please do go and watch it. But essentially, they are points in time when metrics are lining up to suggest, okay, this is a good time to look for a trade in the opposite direction. So as you can see here, the arrow came in around 109,400 on this candle close. And then the price then went on to drop $1,000 after that. So it isn't obviously a trend shift that it's identifying. It's showing you, okay, things are lining up to suggest the move may reverse in the opposite direction. Then obviously it's up to you to decide and use other metrics, such as obviously the oscillator itself, the background color change, other metrics, SR, to decide if that is a trend shift or if it's potentially just showing you an entry, and then you quickly obviously get a gain, you move your stop loss to entry, into profit, close the trade, whatever it may be. But I will be doing a full video on the arrows because they are absolutely fantastic when you go back and actually have a look at price when they came in and what happened after that. So that's the first difference, a very minor one, like I mentioned. So the second minor change is the replacement of the crosses. So again, in the video that I published, the overbought and oversold identifiers were crosses in shape, but are represented as circles or dots. So that's the only other change. Obviously to the downside, this is showing oversold, and then obviously when they appear at the top of the oscillator, that is showing overbought on whatever time frame you're viewing. Obviously currently we're just on the 5 minute, and of course do remember that these can come in obviously at any time. Price doesn't have to have gone in the opposite direction for these to show, such as obviously we had a downtrend on the 5 minute, slightly down here, and then price obviously leveled off. But by the time it got to this point where price was ready to rebound, obviously the identifiers that this looks for to show overbought and oversold indications had obviously reset and shown, okay, everything's lining up to show a bounce is coming, and obviously there it did. Even on these ones, obviously pulled back a little bit here, oversold came in, and then price then continued to rally. So that's the only change for them, for obviously oversold and overbought, and they're the only changes. Apart from that, the full description on that video is fully correct. Obviously looking at the histogram, what the long and short identifiers mean when they come in, and of course the overbought and oversold indicators as well. So what I also want to cover is the fact that you can actually customize any of these that you see on the oscillator itself. So such as obviously when you come to the settings, come into style, and if you want to change either of these, you can actually do that. So obviously bullish strong signal, bearish, strong signal. You can just click on these and you can choose different shapes. So obviously currently you can see we have a couple of bearish ones coming in there. If we change them to say down arrow, they do come in as a down arrow. Now obviously when you zoom out it doesn't look great, so it's up to you obviously how you view your chart, and if you would want that. They work completely fine as triangles, but you know, if you do want to have a mess around, you know, such as diamond, that comes in perfectly fine when you're looking at it like that. The arrow is just a bit obviously squashed until you zoom in, but you know, circle if you want them as that. These are fully customizable, as we do a lot with Stonksy. It's fully customizable to how users want the indicator to look and portray on their chart. But let's go back to triangle down and just have it as that. So that is obviously customizing the bull and bearish signals. However, when you come to the dots or the histogram itself, there isn't much customized to be able to do on these. So say for instance, you know, you choose the cross, it will not change it alongside the histogram. Let's put them back to the circles. You know, if you choose line on that, it'll basically just get rid of the histogram. So main customization on these new features comes from the bull and bear signals, which can work well because obviously we do have these on the indicator itself to follow price action. So if you do want a bit of variety, you know, perhaps choosing circles or diamonds or whatever it is that you find works best may be a good option for you. But yeah, mainly stick to customizing the bull and bear signals if you are wanting to change anything as it's set out. Now obviously do make sure you head over and check out the video on it, give a full obviously breakdown on what each feature does and how to trade with it and obviously what they mean. But also if you want to have a read, if you come over to the Stonksy Medium, this can be found obviously on the website by clicking the little M that appears on any of the pages, or obviously by searching Stonksy on Medium. But we have released a article on it, obviously giving a breakdown. If you also want, you know, a full written explanation and method on using each feature and obviously what they mean, that is there for you to go and have a read of as well. But that is everything for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you do drop a like, subscribe, and of course check out either of these plans. This is the Oscillator only plan. As explained, you get Oscillator and Discord access, and then you can still get 20% off the monthly plan, sorry, with code BOT20 when you go into checkout. Put it into the discount box and that'll take 20% off your first month, and you get access to everything with that one: indicator, Oscillator, Discord server, and trading bots. But that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.